Hello everybody, welcome to this yoga practice. I'm not sure exactly how it's gonna go down. We're just gonna go with the flow, excuse me, and see what comes out. I have some free time and decided that I will do another sequence that I really of different poses that I like to do. So if you are interested in stretching your shoulders, if you're interested in stretching your hips and then your legs as well, this practice will focus on those areas. There's going to be a mix of a little bit of everything. So yeah, hop into something comfortable, as Yoga with Adrian says, and we can go ahead and get started. So today, let's start in, I think it's camel pose. I'm really not versed in the poses, but I believe this is camel pose. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But we're going to sit like this, and we're going to just take a few deep breaths to get us started here, just to drop into the moment. I know your mind is probably going, why am I sitting here? Why am I doing this? Let your mind chatter to you and take a few more deep breaths to show your mind that we are safe, that it's okay. Okay. And so from here, we'll transition to putting our curling your toes inside, and we're gonna actually go into the same pose. So curl your toes underneath and then adjust the toes that are sticking out. So my smaller toes are sticking out, so I curled them out underneath so that they're all together. And then this is a pretty intense stretch, and this is one I learned from Yoga with Cassandra. Shout out to her. And so this is pretty intense. If you can't do it, don't push yourself, obviously. It took me a couple years to get this stretch to a comfortable position, and since it gets so deep into the fascia, which is the really outermost layer of our it's a tissue that surrounds our muscles, and it's right underneath our skin. This position really stretches the fascia, so that's the reason why it hurts so much. And also, obviously, you're putting pressure on your bones, but really the pain is mostly from stretching your fascia, since your toes are probably not used to being in this position with your entire body weight on them. And that's another thing. If you're feeling like it's too much body weight, feel free to adjust and allow your hands to give you some support in the front, maybe on the side, maybe on the other side. Maybe you want support closer to your knees, and just try to relax your feet. Not fully, but try to relax them so that you can get a good stretch in your feet. This is a good practice if you do a lot of standing around, by the way. And then we're gonna go support ourselves with our hands and slowly uncurl toes. Very slow. Point your toes, sit back on your toes, and let us transition. So next up, we are going to, let me see here. Let's do a cat-cow. So go right ahead and get on your hands and your knees. Okay. And let's stretch that back. Why don't we stretch the back and stretch the tummy? So go ahead, get into tabletop, and then take a deep breath and point your face upwards and curl yourself down. So stretch your spine inwards, rather. Yeah. Or if you have access to seeing what I'm doing, then do what I'm doing. Take a breath here and then curl your back backwards. Exhale. And let's do it a few more times. Inhale when you look up, and exhale when you look down. This is great for your back, your shoulder blades, your wrists, your neck. This is great for all those areas. Okay, exhale. And okay, the toes are still a little sore, so we're not gonna go on the toes just yet. Let's do a child's pose. So widen your knees, or if you feel like it, you can keep them together. That's another option. Again, modify it as your body tells you. So it should never hurt too much. It should just be a little challenging, but not in a way that hurts as well. I guess challenging is not really the good word here. It should just feel enjoy, like a good stretch. That's really what it should feel like. So go into child's. Let's give ourselves a little shark fin here. So put your hands together and put them behind your head, as if you're doing an Anjali mudra, an angel mudra, but behind your head. Breathe into your muscles, exhale. It's so good to bring oxygen to your muscles. And let's inhale, and we're gonna go right ahead and go into Sphinx. So go ahead and transition to Sphinx. And stretch that tummy. Okay, fall down, and let's do a quick, I believe I might have just, okay, I don't remember the name of this pose, but stay in the same position you would as Sphinx, but use your elbows instead of the palms of your hands to lay on. Lean on the elbows, on your elbows. Exhale here. And next up, we're gonna do a puppy pose. So this one is one of my favorites for sure. This one is really great for your shoulders. So why don't we start in tabletop position? This is gonna be our starting position. Then widen your knees just a tad, and then put your arms, stretch your hands up to the front, and bow down. So basically, you want your forehead touching the ground, and you want your arms stretched forward, and your hips should be opening up. This one is really good for the shoulders and the hips. Okay, lift up, position back into tabletop, and why don't we do one downward facing dog here? So go ahead, take a breath, go into plank, and then go right into downward dog. You can walk your dog if you want. You can keep him straight if you want. You can do whatever you please here. Whatever feels good, whatever feels like a proper satiating stretch. Okay, and then calm down. And we're gonna do this camel pose one more time, just to bring this back to balance, bring this to a close. Just lean, just sit on top of your calves. Breathe here. Okay. Awesome. Now let's go ahead and go into our seated position. Now why don't we do a cobbler's pose really quickly, because this is really great for your thighs as well as your hips. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sit down, and then we're gonna have our legs in a diamond shape facing away from us. And I really like massaging myself, massaging my muscles, especially after work. It feels so great to give yourself some self-care. We should normalize giving ourselves massages, because our bodies work so hard to keep up with our lifestyles, so they deserve a little TLC. So you can take it or leave it. I just like doing it. So I'm gonna massage myself a little bit here. And what we're gonna do next is we're gonna actually grab on to whatever feels more comfortable for you. So you could either grab your toes, you could grab your actual feet, you could grab your ankles. For me, I'm gonna grab my toes. And take a breath, and then just close in on yourself. So curl forward and exhale here. Just breathe in this cobbler's pose. You should feel it on the outside of your hips and your thighs. If you want something a little more challenging, you can go ahead and put your arms underneath your calves like this, and you can stretch here if you prefer. Take a big breath and let's come out of here. And then I like to help myself come out a little bit, so lean backwards and then you can help yourself close those legs. Great. Stretch your legs forward, shake them any way you'd like. It feels really nice to release the hamstrings. So this is shaking is really great for releasing tension. So if you are interested, go ahead and shake your legs while they are stretched forward, and then shake them a little bit slower, slower, slower. And just try to relax here. Okay. We are done. Go back to your seated position. Thank you so much for watching this. If you did watch this, I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did end up doing the practice, let me know how it went. Let me know if you liked it. And I will probably see you next time. Thanks again.